Good evening. Welcome to another one of my videos. Tonight's a little bit different. It's a non-Seiko. It's a Roma. Roma is a very old Swiss watch company. 1888, I think it was started. Still make watches to today. Mid-range, obviously. They're not top brand, but they are well respected because of the history and heritage. And yeah, it's some decent watches. The first watch I did, I think first or second watch, was a Roma, and that was a very old one. This is 1980, early 80s, about 82, I think, from what I can find out. It's running a little, and let me just switch music down. I've got old Hans Zimmer banging away again. It's running a little bit, but if you look at the hand, the hour hand's not moving. It was advertised as this, it did say that. It's an eBay special. Hour hand's not working, but it is running, but it's only limping along, and you can see the date is slightly offset as well. So I got it for, with it being a Roma, not working, I got it for £40, less than £40 plus postage, which I'm happy with. That's quite expensive for me, because as you all know, I'm learning, and the big question with this was, can I get, like with any other watch for me, can I get spares? That's why I love Seiko. You can get spares dead easy. But I'm assuming this is an ETA watch. An ETA are a Swiss brand, and they make watches today, make movements today for all the big places like Next, or maybe if GCB or somebody made a range of watches, ETA would be the movement. So that's what I'm hoping for. And at this stage here, this is the big one. If I couldn't get past, I'd just move it on and sell it. So I'm looking in there now. I'm looking for an identification number which tells me who made the movement, and I can see it down the bottom near the balance. It is an ETA, as I suspected, and it's an ETA 2846. That's the number for this movement, and it's a well-known movement in watch circles. It's in all sorts of watches. Tissot, if you say any branded watches, smaller brand watches, somewhere you don't associate watches, they would have an ETA movement. And probably this one. This is a bit of a workhorse. It's a bit of a, from what I can make out, a Seiko 5 type. A cheap, mass-produced, but quality and reliable. And it's there's nothing wrong with ETA. They make some good watches. And I think my Hamilton has got a ETA movement in the Murph watch. Huge. I think they're owned by Omega. One of the daddies of the watch brand, because with the quartz crisis in the 70s, a lot of smaller watch companies got swallowed up in it all, apparently. So I'm told. So back to this watch. So I can go now. I can get the parts. So what I'm doing with every aspect of this watch, I'm looking and learning, because it's completely different to a Seiko. It's very, very more complicated. And the winding mechanism, the automatic movement taking off there is very different. You can see it's got counter wheels, counter rotating wheels. And to me, this shows how good Seikos are, because it's simple and more efficient. And efficiency is the god of watchmaking. So but this works well, but it's new to me. Every stage of this, I'm learning. I didn't even know how to take the stem out. I had a good idea, but you don't know for sure. I did have a lot of problems with it. That's the piece on a Seiko where you just got the racking pole, or the magic fingers they call them. That's quite an elaborate piece of kit. There's several gears there, and it all needs to come apart. I'm trying to keep everything in separate compartments, because I'm going to get mixed up. I've got 4 trays on go: watch side, dial side, and the automatic movement. So I'm working out how to take the stem out. That's not a big one, to be honest, and that comes out without difficulty. Then I've got I have to take the movement out of the case, and you can see that sort of brass gold ring around the movement, that movement ring. I didn't know how that went in. I didn't know if it's screwed in or, all these things I've said, didn't know. So I had to work out, and it took a long time. I've edited it, so it's a lot easier. So I'm just, you've got, you sometimes use a bit of force, but with a watch, obviously, it's very limited. But it does come out of the case with that incident. And you can see that dial. It's a lovely dial, white and gold. I couldn't move the hands. You should have all them lined up, but I took the stem out. The hour hand's not moving anyway, so I just whipped them off there because there's something wrong. I suspect it's the hour wheel, and you'll see later what it was. So again, it's just keeping everything separate and working out how to take the dial off and that brass ring, because you've got two clips. You'll see them shortly. They like rotate, and you can see them there. But I couldn't. I could do one. I couldn't take the other without that brass ring. But it was so tight, where I thought, I didn't think I was doing it right, or I didn't want to use too much force. But I did eventually prise it off, and it's all about checking, making sure nothing's binding, it's not hitting a ledge or something like that, and it's just unfamiliarity. But it does come off eventually, and I do get the dial off. I did put it on the time grapher when I got it running, but it was the figures weren't. It was barely registering. It was advertised as a runner, but with the hour hand not moving, but it wasn't really running. We'll see. This video's in two parts. I'm just doing obviously the pull down, taking it apart now, because I don't want to miss out on it, because it's a new watch and it's gonna be difficult for me. It was difficult taking it down. It's going to be a lot more difficult putting it back. But I had to buy some parts. I had to buy a couple of parts, which you'll see later. So I'm just dilly-dallying a bit with hindsight, but it's when you don't know, you don't know. And of course, you don't know if I've been trying to take a dial off before and someone's actually glued it on. So, you don't know what history it's had. I mean, 1982, apart from being one of the best years or best decade ever, was a long time ago. But you see, I get the ring off. Once the ring was off, I could snap those clips to get the dial off. And once I'd done one, it just gives you confidence. Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Click, and it comes off. Because I don't want to break any more parts. But I did go on Cousins UK, and I put this movement in, and it was fine. I could get. There's a new movement, but they are equivalent parts. It's just identifying the parts, what they call them, and that they haven't got I haven't got a parts list. With Seiko's, you can go on the internet and download a complete exploded drawing of your watch. I don't know if you can on this. I don't know much about ETA, but yeah, I did, and the part was. I think one of the parts was only £2 plus that. So, but interestingly, that is made in Taiwan, and I did some work on that. And Roma was bought out in the 70s by a Hong Kong company, and they invested a lot of money in it. So I don't know if that's come from Hong Kong or that from Southeast Asia, that sort of way. But the movement's ETA. Just a little tidbit there for you. I'm looking at how it all works. The date and day adjustment looks very complex to me. It's really terrifying. All my takedown was looking at the parts, how they go back. If there's any damage, obviously you're always looking at that anyway. But I film it, so I could play it back. But I have found on YouTube a watch guy who I follow quite a lot, CS Spinner, and he does strip one down. It's a Tissot one, and it's the same movement, and he does this, but he does it a little bit better than me. So I am following that. So he doesn't know I exist, but I do owe him a pint because I'm just about to start the rebuild now. I've got the parts, and I'm following that rigorously. So it is a huge help. But I'm just trying to work it out. I mark the parts with a marker pen, different colours for different parts now, which helps me. I'm sure to a serious watch guy, it's sacrilege. Just tickle me, but I'm not bothered about that one. It just helps me. I just want to get this watch running because it's cost me £40 plus parts plus time. You know, I will have spent about £50, £60 on it when I've done easily. And it's the last watch. I don't, it's not for sale. It's just want to add to my collection. But more importantly, I wanted to put a different video out because I'm sure you're all sick of seeing Seikos. So it's just taking it down and exploring and trying to work out how everything works. I don't know if it's got a quick set for the day and date yet as well. I think it has because I did see something, but I'm going to start the assembly soon. This video finishes with it in bits and the new parts, and then I will start disassembling it. It's very, very strange layout as well. The going train, you haven't got like a centre with a fourth wheel. It's offset to the centre, and then the cannon pinion sort of goes on like a wheel in the middle, and it's different. It's different. It looks very complicated to me, if I'm honest. After the Seikos and their beautiful, dead basic, dead straightforward way of doing it, this is complicated. I'm hoping I won't get back together, and I'll just keep at it till I do, because it is a nice looking watch. Nice, that dial, that white and gold, and I like the brand. It's a cool brand. You can see there I'm dubbing the screws different colours. That's so I know which screws goes back where. I learned that the hard way with the Seiko, as you may know. As I'm sure a lot. I don't think any serious watchmakers watch this, but if they did, they'd be like, "Oh my god!" But it helps me, and if it helps me get the watch running, it'll do it. If I did, it's like same as with my first Seikos. If you do find them a bit daunting at first, but if I did this a few times, you become obviously more familiar. So it's no great deal. It's speeded up quite a lot because I'm only taking it down. I know you've seen it before, but it's different. But I think it's fine. I can speed it up without losing anything. Yeah, I've done a bit of camera work and all. I'm changing my angle on my overhead as well to give it a wider view. I'm waiting for a lens to come from AliExpress because I think the phone is quite good. I can get that quite close. Just feels smaller as well. It's the same size as a Seiko 5, but the parts, the way everything's crammed in, it feels like a smaller watch. The screws are silly different, not as deep. And I've had some fun and games. If I get this back together and running, I'm going to be very chuffed. It all went through the cleaner with my new watch cleaning fluid. Through without any issues. I didn't do the screws. It was quite clean inside. See something with the spring later, but it looked fine. But there were no lubrication at all. I couldn't see any at all. no spots of grease or anything like that. So that's going in one of my dishes there for that side of the watch, and I got another one for the other side, for the dial side. It's, as I say, I always say watches are the same, and they are, but this layout is different. I mean, when it goes back together, it's very strange. The fourth wheel, which is what your hand does it to, what's directly on, if you like. That's normally directed connected to your spring, but on this one, it's just driven different, and I can't work out how the seconds hand moves. I need to have a look at that when I go back together. So I'm taking the spring out there now because the watch is fully down, and that was dry as a bone. Under magnifying glass now, this is where I thought I see something. This is pretty standard. I always stick it. I've got a funny angle there. I haven't said about how I've got a big reflection of light on the screen and a silly angle, but it's important to do it. What I check is the pivots. That's the first thing, and then obviously the state of all the teeth. That I believe is the fourth wheel, and I don't know why it's got that. That's split, and I don't know. Now, this is normal. I do this on every watch. The escapement there, look. Again, I look at the pivots, the pinion, the small wheel. You're just making sure there's nothing untoward. Everything's the same. And again, pivots on these especially. Your escapement is definitely the heart of the watch, and that's joined with the pallet fork, which is critical. And again, you need good clean sorry, I thought that was my pallet fork. I'm looking at the wrong screen. And I'm looking at the pivots pallet wheel. Here we go. This is the pallet fork. That is mated to the escape wheel. You can see that angle there on those stones. That is critical. That's what makes your watch run. That escape wheel pushes on that slope and shoves the lever to the other side, giving you your impulse, which is effectively it swings your pendulum, or in a case of a watch, rotates your balance wheel. So those angles are super critical. They have to be really, really clean, no pitted, no chipped, and not dislodged there, because I say it really is a critical angle. There's not a lot you can do. Well, I can't. They are shellacked in, and some people can change them, but that's above my level. So you're looking at that. Pivots are essential because they're only small, these, and I've cracked a few. When you overtime it, when you're putting it in, you can crack them. So you're making sure that they're in line. It's funny, the microscope, I had a little one when I first started doing it, so I upgraded. I built one from AliExpress, which I'm really proud of. It's quite a good one, but I need to go higher, and I never thought I would. I thought I had plenty of magnification. So my next one's a big one where I could possibly work using it, because this is all right for what I'm doing, but you can see it's difficult to keep it in focus because it's high state of magnification. But yeah, I can't believe I need a new microscope. This is the ratchet wheel. I'm just looking. I've got a good square drive on there, and the teeth are okay. They do look slightly worse under well, they look a lot worse under the microscope. This wheel doesn't look bad. You've got to bear in mind that is 8 millimeters in diameter, something like that. I'm not going to tell you what wheel it is because I could get it wrong, but this is part of your movement train. I take a guess and say third wheel. Again, I'm looking, teeth are in good condition, the pinion's good, and pivots. This is on all watches. I've learned In the past I made some mistakes. Pivots nice and clean, straight, not bent or snapped. I've got a very small stone I rub, sort of reject them in. I push them in and spin them around, and they give it a clean. But I have also got a jackot tool, which is like a mini lathe to grind them up, which I've done once. Now then, have a look here. This is the hour wheel, so I was suspicious of this anyway. This is what your hour hand attaches to that. Looks okay. And then look there, look at the bottom, it's sort of 6 o'clock position. See, there's about 3 teeth missing. There's one still hanging on. Don't know what caused it. I suspect the spring packed in or something like that, because that spring was very new. I changed, and I wonder if that's gone round or tried to go round and pull the teeth off. So once you do that, I just check the plates, and I'm just checking the rubies, the jewels. 21 jewels this is. They're synthetic rubies. They're very hard. They're one down from diamonds, so they don't wear, and they're quite low friction, so they're ideal for watches. And I'm just making sure there's no dirt, oil, or cracked. Dirt and oil come out in the wash because I give it a rub with a bit of wood, a peg wood, and then it goes in several washes. So not so bothered about that. The minute it's that they're in good condition. I've had cracked one several times. I've had a cracked one. How the hell they get it cracked? I don't know. Maybe it's a flaw in how they're made. But I'm just looking at that, and that is pretty much all down apart now. So a week goes by, and I've ordered the parts. I've ordered a new band spring, a new spring, and the hour wheel. The hour wheel was cheap as chips. Yes, cheap as chips, and it was from Cousins UK, which are quite expensive on some parts. But that was less. I'm sure it was less than £2 plus that, so nothing. Spring wasn't expensive either. So I'm just making sure, because I had 3 different highs, and this one's 1.8 millimeters high, and I had several options. So I'm just making sure it's the right one. So I measured it at 1.8 it were, and I that was a choice when I selected them. So I'm just making sure it's the right size. Obviously, if that was a different size, you have a different gear ratio, which is not good. So that's good. So it's time to put the spring in, and I will end the video when I put the spring in. Focus on the rebuild. I'll make a start with that soon. So you can see colour side up. This to me was a bit different to Seiko, because Seiko's you take the other end off, and so the spring from your end sort of goes the opposite way. This one, as you're looking at it, was clockwise. I think that's right. So all I'm doing there, I'm just greasing the brow because there was no grease in it whatsoever. I rubbed my fingers in it, and it didn't leave a mark. So just a few spots of grease. I'm getting better now with the grease. Before I'd sort of empty it, I'd put one more in and one more, and before I knew it was full of grease. So just a few spots, and some around the wall, because this is automatic, so it slides on that wall. I call it breaking grease. So I get that in, and it went in okay, because it was new and it's already in these little collars. Once you've got your rotation sorted out, it's right way. You literally just push it out and into your barrel. I've ballsed this up a few times before, where it hasn't been fully in. I thought it were, and I've pulled the ring off and it's leapt across the room. But this one went in. Okay, wasn't too bad. Just transferred in, and then it's just a question of putting the arbor in. Grease at the top, few spots on the cap, and I put the arbor in. It's sometimes a pain in the butt, because you've got the hook has got to go on the centre. I got it sort of halfway in, pushed it, and it just dropped in. So I was quite pleased about that. So this is it now. So I'm gonna pull the video up shortly. It's all ready to go. So I hope you've you enjoyed it, and you ought to give me a like that. But otherwise, I shall probably post again in a month with this together. Certainly hope so. But I've got some work to do. It's a bit scary. But thanks for watching. Have a good evening, and I'll see you all very, very soon with a watch that's running. I hope even more. Thank you. Good night.